Hello everyone, Dan here, and today we're going to be playing some Resident Evil Code Veronica X. I am playing this on the PS4 version of the game, and I'm going to be hoping to help you guys get through this game with an A rank, which will also unlock the rocket launcher, and even more notably for you trophy hunters, the accompanying trophy or achievement that comes with that. The A rank is a difficult challenge, especially for less experienced players, as it calls for no retries, no saves, no first aid sprays, saving Rodrigo and Steve, which those aren't too bad, and finishing the game in just 4.5 hours. Um, this is the port of the PS2 version, which for some reason was released by Capcom on the PS4, as opposed to the HD version, but we'll leave that with Capcom. To start here, we're going to take a look at the options. I used the key config type B. You can use whichever one you want. This makes no difference on the gameplay. However, you'll notice in the top left, I do have the controller inputs on display. So if you're wanting to kind of recreate exactly what I am doing in this video, make note that I am on type B. Also note that, again, this is on the PS4. I know it is an Xbox controller in the top left, but I am using a DS4 controller while recording this. But as we go ahead and get started, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about this run and the big challenges with it. The biggest thing with this game is understanding your inventory and understanding when to heal and when to mix herbs. I feel those are going to be the biggest factors. And you'll notice right off the bat, I have the rocket launcher in my inventory. I just did a playthrough like this just to show that I have done this. So if you guys think I'm full of it, it is there. I'll help you through. And right out of the gate, we're going to go ahead and equip the lighter. This is going to trigger the cutscene with Rodrigo. Skip the cutscene. Skip every cutscene, as they will count against your time. So definitely do that. We're going to grab a green herb out of the back of the cell, grab some handgun ammo here off the chair, and then finally the knife off of the desk. Now, I will let it be known, it's much quicker, obviously, to avoid conflict when you can. Just avoid the battles, dodge as many of them as you can if you feel confident doing it. But I'm going to show some good zombie waves that might be better to go ahead and wipe out. Normally in like a true full speed run, you won't deal with any of these zombies. You just run by them, dodge them. Even if you have to take some hits, it's still faster than fighting them. But there are some that are dangerous and will be worth taking out in a run like this. And if you're worried about this taking too much time, don't. 4.5 hours is plenty. I typically, in my experience, when I was originally going for this achievement years ago, my biggest problem was actually just finishing the game without a reset or the retry, because this game loves to take you out. There are several insta-death spots in this game, and things that can just easily screw you up. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to clear all those up for you today and have you as ready as possible for them. We get our handgun. There's a cutscene where we meet Steve, and then we're going to head forward. Do not worry about going into the building here. There is an additional weapon you can obtain in there and some herbs, but there are 3 zombies right by the door when you go through. You're going to burn up some ammo, possibly get bit. So just go up the stairs and grab the herb. Don't worry about going in there. I promise they are not needed. The one upside of the weapon would be a fight we have coming up a little bit later, but I personally think you're better off just using heals and the strats that I'll have in place for you, as opposed to going through there, and you're going to get bit probably anyway by the zombies, so you'd have to heal likely anyway. So here's our first bit of combat. Getting rid of these zombies that love to crowd in this entrance to this building here. There's one more that's hiding right behind the corner there. Loves the troll grab if you are just rushing and hoping to get around into the building. If you didn't know, once zombies have pools of blood pouring out from underneath them, that is when you know they have officially been killed and removed. So here's the metal detector. I'm just taking some inventory, reloading and everything, but we're gonna have to put everything into this, including the lighter, with the exception of the herbs. Just go ahead and dump everything in there. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the rocket launcher in there for the rest of the game, just so it's removed. Again, that was just to show that, yeah, this run is legit. I have done this before. Yeah, we're gonna go into this room and we're gonna run into Steve again. Again, skip that cutscene and head straight, or well, turn around and grab the emblem out of the desk. Then we're gonna flip this switch here. This is gonna open up that big metal gate that was outside. Now, instead of putting the emblem inside the metal detector, we're going to go ahead and put it into this basically 3D printer. But we don't have the material quite yet for it to be printed onto. But we can always go ahead and scan in the emblem as is. I should make note, I am recording this on June the 10th, 2026. I have to make mention of this because the remake of this title was just announced within a few days, so I figured what better time to go ahead and put this video out. I'm excited. I hope you're excited for it as well. We're going to grab the handgun out of the item box and head back outside the building. And we're going to have our first explosive barrel. Now, targeting these is a little tricky. You'll see how I have some trouble with it here. They're opening the metal gate here. It's there on Claire's right. I tried to aim over at it, but she's not quite hitting it, so I decided I'm just going to clear out the zombies in a more traditional way. And I want to make very clear one thing. I do not play my best. This is not going to be some flawless, spotless, no damage playthrough or anything like that. And there are even moments where I was like, maybe I should just reset this and do it again. Because I'm going to take bites and plenty of damage in some spots. But I decided to leave it in because I figure that's probably a more accurate representation of what maybe you could expect going in with not a ton of experience with this. And hopefully that'll make it a little more easier to digest and go in with. But this game gives you plenty of healing. Even though you can't use the first aid sprays, you'll have so many herbs. I promise you'll have so many herbs. As long as you grab them all and don't mix them don't rush mixing them and other things like that. I'll just say this as a slight spoiler for the run here. I do not mix 2 green herbs at all in this entire run. And as we go through the run, I'll explain why, and hopefully my strategy makes sense there. So there's a straight zombie grab. One notable thing with zombies in this game is if they do grab you, mash the D-pad and the face buttons. I typically hit X or A, whichever controller you're using, and then while kind of mashing the D-pad to knock them off. But an interesting note with that on this game, there are some instances, which we just saw, where you can actually push zombies off before they will bite, and that will not do damage. The grab will happen, but until they actually bite and you see blood, damage is not counted. So you are in the clear at that point. You'll notice I'm running by a lot of these zombies. The graveyard in particular, they do respawn. It's not worth fighting them there. And especially if it means you're going to end up having to use your knife in spots you may not want to and other things. Just run by them. If you get bit, it's okay. The game gives you plenty of early game heals here. We've already picked up 2, and then it won't be long before a couple more are grabbed or accessible anyway. Yeah, we open up the briefcase. We use the padlock key to create the shortcut so we don't have to run past those dogs. And once again, take another bite trying to get by that guy. It's no big deal. There are a couple of enemy situations where you can get into trouble, and I'll make sure you know about those when we get there. Yeah, once again, had to put the handgun away and also the fire extinguisher. And now we've got the material to complete the 3D print onto for the hawk emblem. And as you can see, it can obviously pass through the metal detectors. All right. Special alloy hawk emblem. And the zombies break out through here, which is annoying to say the least. Notice I've now Clara's grabbing her shoulder. I have fallen into caution, which is not too bad in this game. She still moves pretty well, but once you're in danger, she will do a very traditional Resident Evil hobble style motion. Now I noted to highlight the fire extinguisher. I'm leaving it behind in this video. If you want the Magnum, which you do not need, I assure you, you do not need. But if you want it anyway, take the fire extinguisher here. And then you'll put it in your item box for quite a while until the later third of the game. But if you do want the Magnum, take the fire extinguisher. But like I said, I don't think you'll need it. And and we'll come to the spot where you would use it again and everything. And with our new hawk emblem, we can open up these gates and head on forward with the game into the new areas. Once again, 2 herbs are sitting here. I typically like to leave 1 because we will be coming back down here a little bit later. Our first bit of block pushing, classic Resident Evil. But yeah, I usually leave 1 herb behind just to not clutter the inventory up too much or anything like that. Extra handgun ammo. Walk across the blocks and back up the steps here. And once again, this is a good spot to just go ahead and try and avoid some fighting if you can. Just be, when you get to the base of the steps there, start mashing A or X, whichever you're playing on, to get up the stairs as quickly as possible. The dogs here can be a pain. There is a good way to take them out, though. Note there is another green herb there in front of the, right to the right of the stairs there, if you need it. And we're going to make a quick detour as well upon entering this building. So we're just going to grab some extra firepower. But before we go into this room, equip the lighter. Equip the lighter. So there are bats in this upcoming room. And bats will attack you and kind of gnaw on you and be very, very, very annoying. However, if you have the lighter equipped, it will leave you alone. But anything else, they're going to be a pain. Yeah, grab the case there and head back out. Now we're going to head over to the computer here. There is a key card you're supposed to find. It's actually on the second floor. It tells you the employee ID number, but we can skip that here. I know the code. It is NTC039. Go down there and, or it's 0394, excuse me. And then just go ahead and hit enter, and the bottom door will unlock. Also some more handgun ammo sitting on the desk. Now there will be a group of zombies in here. A number of them are worth taking out because we're going to come through this hallway a few times. And there is also a red herb, which is easy to miss. Depending on the version, some of the lighting is, in this particular version, is on the darker side. It's easy to walk by a couple of items. But first, go ahead and get your handgun out and take out these guys. Targeting in this game is a little weird, even by, like, old Resident Evil standards. But, it mostly does the job. Just get rid of those three. There's a red herb right there, which on my my setup is a little tough to see sometimes, but yeah, make sure you grab it and can throw it onto one of those herbs. A green and a red herb together are a full 100% heal. Just know that, and it's definitely the best way to mix herbs in this game. Head in this room, grab some more handgun ammo. And then just run over to this first on the right, ant statue that has a light on under it, and you can play a video of the kids torturing a poor dragonfly, and then grab the steering wheel. Yeah, the lore and the backstory of the Ashford family is going to be very interesting to see how they interpret in the remake. I'll just say that. If you've played this, which I do recommend you play this at least once before attempting a run like this. But nevertheless, if you know, you know. So here comes one of our first requirements of the run is to save Steve. Saving Steve it's very simple to do. I'm surprised that it's really a thing, but we just need to go right back to the room we were previously in. And basically, if you take too long to get him out of there, it can invalidate your A rank run. The answer here is C and E. Just hit decide and you're good. Yeah, you don't want Steve to suffer for way too long. Yeah, there is a zombie to Claire's left there, by the way. We'll take care of him a little later. He's blocking a door. We don't need to go in there quite yet. And after the cutscene with Alfred, we're going to head back out. And I'm going to take on the dogs. I'm going to use the knife to do so. The knife works really well against them. If you're not comfortable using it, go ahead and shoot the dogs. The dogs will come up the steps, though, here. And kind of set themselves up because they can't do anything until they're kind of reset, and then just, yeah, very easily you can easily knife them down. There are 3 total. I come down here to aggro the other one. Quick turn, which is hold back and then hit the run button. And this one I kind of put myself in a weird spot at, but I should have make sure to move in front like we did with the first one. Don't do what I did here, although it did work out. And again, if you're just not comfortable with this, if you find yourself just endlessly getting bit, go ahead and just shoot them. It might be beneficial to practice a little bit with the knife, though, because we're going to... I have a hard time not recommending it for an upcoming battle, which we'll get to, because the handgun is not very effective against this enemy, and it also just leaves you more open to getting hit very frequently. So the knife actually is, it's used in the speedrun, but I think it's probably at this point of the game the best casual option as well. This is where we're gonna use that steering wheel we grabbed. You also get one of the nicest items available to any character in any Resident Evil here in just a moment. Yeah, inside we're gonna turn, and there is a side pack, which provides Claire with 2 extra inventory slots. Very valuable, very appreciated. Yeah, sometimes they'll give those to you, but you'll have to wait until you're, you know, more than halfway through the game, but they give it pretty early in this one. And this room has 3 zombies inside of it. Just run. We're gonna run to Claire's right, the screen left. We want to get rid of this zombie here. He's gonna try to block. Get rid of him and just go through the gate there. The other 2 we don't need to worry about at the moment. Now you'll hear bats, but you do not need to worry about equipping the lighter at this time. You can hear them chirping there in the background. Go ahead and run over here and up the elevator. Gonna do a crane game action. So pretty much here, just move forward as back all the way until the crane itself will stop. And then just head left until it's lined up over the crate. You can tell by the shadow. Just look at the shadow, the circle being full on top of the crate. You'll know you'll have it. So coming up, we actually have one of the, this dodge looks tougher than it actually is. And in fact, I'm moving a little slow here, which actually probably made it a little more difficult for myself. But there are a lot of zombies waiting for us on this lift here. But we're gonna head over here. Notice which direction I pointed myself. And we're gonna run around and grab this key card here. Now, wait for them to, you can kite them over. Now, I actually jumped the gun there a little bit. If I was a little bit better at setting myself up there, I could have just had them all get a little closer into where I grabbed the card key. But either way, just guide them and run around. Should be pretty direct. The zombies, for the most part, will be quite predictable in situations like that. You should be very safe. Again, a big ammo saver, though, compared to trying to fight all those guys. And just a health saver, too. And that crawling zombie loves to sneak in and bite while you're trying to fight the ones that are standing up. And it can spiral into a bad chain of events where you just burn a lot of resources needlessly. And some backtracking now. One of the criticisms of Code Veronica is the excessive backtracking, which is undeniable. There's always elements of it in a number of the games, but this one in particular, and this is coming from somebody that has sped ran many of these games and knows several of the efficient routes, even I will say this one has a bunch of it. I don't think it necessarily ruins the game, but it can definitely turn some people off for sure with it. Yeah, right here is where it's nice that the dogs have been removed. Dodging them can be a little tricky through here, but yeah, no worries here. Now you're gonna come down here. Note the movement I do. That's pretty consistent on those first two zombies. This last one, I get a little too close. I didn't quite get the door in time. But again, don't bother fighting them. And you'll understand why I say that soon enough as well. As we come in here, it's the giant worm. Do not battle the worm. It's a waste of time, I promise. Just run into the double doors here. To clear his left, there's going to be a red herb on this bench. Again, kind of easy to miss, depending on your setup. But yeah, we're going to make another mixture. Again, that's another full heal now. Now, it's very tempting to go into that office on the right and then the door to Claire's left there. Go ahead and skip those, though. You don't want to go through either of them right now. It's an area. There are areas where you can definitely gain more resources, but it's nothing you need, especially considering you'll have more enemies to deal with. Alfred is easy to dodge. Just, you know, run in the spot I did, and as long as you get to the stairs reasonably close and don't have trouble clicking to get up them or anything, you'll be fine. So coming up here, we have what is the first of the Bandersnatch enemy, which is a weird, bizarre, brown, Stretch Armstrong tyrant, failed tyrant. And it's kind of like this game's new above zombie, but not a boss type thing. And anyway, it's in general pretty easy to just get around them, and they may hit you once or twice, but this one we actually have to defeat to progress the game. And also make sure to grab the medicine and the herb in here. The medicine is required for the A rank, the hemostatic medicine there. That is what we will use to save Rodrigo. But for this upcoming fight, note that I have a full heal and I grabbed a separate singular green herb. If you feel nervous going into this fight, feel free to take use both your full heals here. Take them both if you need to. Be very cautious in this fight. You will take hits. Just look at your health every so often if you need to. And if you see yourself get into yellow, go ahead and use the regular herb. And if you see yourself get into orange, use the full heal immediately. This enemy does have a move where it will grapple you and can do some major damage. But hopefully, if you do this setup correctly, that will not come into play. It'll just swipe at you. But note the movement here. We're going to slash downward. And you'll hear multiple cuts go through. The knife in this game is very good, actually. But we're going to want to slash downward. And believe me, this is much better than using the handgun. But he'll pretty well stay in this spot once he stretches over here. And note, I am just getting pelted here. Yeah, and this is... But he does go down eventually. He's down. But note, I did fall to orange health there. So that was a little risky. Hopefully the video here will give you an idea of how many hits you have to work with beforehand, but play it safe. And if he gets his grapple off, which you'll know it if you see it, be extra careful there to heal even sooner. But with the Bandersnatch out of the way, we get to do some Steve gameplay. everybody's favorite side character. And just go ahead and unload the Uzis here. I get bit here. It's no big deal. If you're worried about Steve too much, you don't need to. It'll be fine. He's 3 rooms of gameplay, and after that, you're clear. Steve is definitely one of the upgrades I'm most hopeful for in the remake. Steve has actually a very good, effective, tragic backstory, but it's kind of all lost in this game because of how various other things with him play out. But yeah, hopefully the remake does him some justice, puts him kind of in that Luis, Ashley, Carlos area where they get a nice boost from the remakes. But anyway, just like that, we're done with Steve. It's a simple little showcasing of the submachine guns that we worked so hard to get for him so we could get those gold Lugers. He gets a fancy weapon. We get Lugers that are actually just used to open a door. Not exactly an even trade-off. He uses up all the ammo for him before he gives it to us. It's in a cutscene that we skipped there. Which again, make sure you're skipping the cutscenes. Especially, even this one right here. This is the infamous father scene, and as much as we will love to see it, it's, go ahead and skip it. No need to risk that 4.5 hour time frame. So I came over here, I was looking for some handgun ammo, but there isn't any there. Don't worry about that. But, yeah, well, I'm gonna unlock the door here and go through. Okay, this is another zombie you'll definitely want to get rid of. He's going to be in, him and, well, there's another one there too, but they're going to be in your way a lot. It's just worth getting rid of them because you're going to have to go buy them so many times. Run forward in here. And in here, we're going to get the first of 2 emblems. Or eagle blades. I always called them blue emblems when I was younger. Actually, blades. With that in hand, we're actually going to head back to where Steve was. This is a slight routing error here. Yeah, which I'm realizing right now. So if you do what I did, just hit the first floor there and you'll come right back out. Yes, Steve is still in despair, but we're going to run around him, go through the double doors, and immediately run upright because there are dogs. Now, you don't need to worry about not taking those dogs out. This is the only time you'll go through there with players, so you don't have to worry about them otherwise. Let's run into the double doors here, though, and ignore the worm yet again. Yeah, now upon using the biohazard card, we're going to come into this area. There will be dogs in here now, which I do recommend taking out. I was originally doing the speedrun idea, which is just to run around them. And then it kind of occurred to me, it's like, well, we should take them out because they can cause some needless damage. Yeah, go ahead and use the eagle plate, which is going to give us the emblem card. And now I'm going to head down here. I was thinking of best way to go next, but yeah, head down here. Get into the corner here and just wait for the dogs. Yeah, sometimes it's a little awkward to hit the dogs, where it'll feel like with the knife, for example, you can chain your hits while they're down. But with the handgun, it's almost as if you need to wait for them to get up, growl, start running, and then you can hit them. Thankfully, they do go down quickly, though, with the handgun. We're about to get a nice upgrade to Claire's arsenal. And make note of the lever there. We don't use it quite yet, but we will later in the run. Yeah, use the new blue key card there to open that gate. Head to the right here and go through this door. This is technically missable, which it is heartbreaking to miss. So definitely make sure to do this. Run over to the shelves here. There are some grenade rounds. And then over to this big gate here, you can see another one of those blue readers. You can use the blue emblem card. Open this gate, and right in front of Claire is the grenade launcher. Which, the grenade launcher is going to be the primary damage dealing weapon for most of the playthrough. There are glitches where the crossbow, which we'll pick up here soon enough, actually is, but this is not a glitched run. I opted to not do that. I think this game is plenty easy enough to complete, well, with knowing where to go and everything. Glitching it is not needed. Inside the mask here is some more handgun ammo. Head run forward and we'll be back on the elevator. Yeah, this is the basement level. First floor is where we use the emblem, or obtain the emblem for the eagle plate, excuse me. But anyway, we're gonna head to the second floor where I use that emblem card, the blue card, one final time. Right here to open this shutter here. And of course, make sure to hit yes on the discard. Pretty much stating the obvious there, but you never know. Sometimes it's easy enough to mash and maybe accidentally hit one thing, but yeah, just make sure you do discard it. Grab the grenade rounds that are kind of tucked away under the desk there. There are 2 herbs to Claire's left there. You can see them both right there. You can save one for later in the game, or you can grab one now. That's kind of just base that off of your situation at the moment. If you're low in health, or you don't take them just because you have space. You'll see I have to adjust my inventory a little bit here in a moment. You don't need to force the issue, but you do need to grab the plate and then come over and then observe again to make sure you look at the video. You need to look at the painting there, and that will cause the ventilation for that room to go through so we can go inside there. I decided to go ahead and take out these enemies just because I will come back through here again. This is probably not as needed as some of the others, though. But it's still worth doing. Unfortunately, I do take a bite. Again, stuff like that, I normally would just hate being in there, but I think it's just a good... It's indirectly a better thing that it is in here. Because I hear it a lot. One of the big concerns with doing this game and this run is the fact of how difficult it is and how impossible it is. And, you know, I just want to show you can take plenty of bites. You can take, you know, all that stuff and be okay. And anyway, with using the heal there, I will go ahead and grab one of the 2 there. Again, we'll come back through here where it may be nice to have. So this is a slight detour coming up. We're going to run forward and head back to the save room right before the Bandersnatch fight. The shutter is down. And using the key card here will, for one, this will get rid of it in the inventory. Or, well, it'll set us up to get rid of it. Normally, we would just discard it in the item box, but it is also going to give us access to the item box so we can dump some more stuff. And put the knife away. We won't be needing it. Yeah, I opted to go without a heal for the moment. You don't need to follow exactly if you're if you want to be safe. You could always put the proof away and keep an herb with you. You know, just keep in mind where the item boxes are. You don't have to be doing exactly what I'm doing as far as that goes. The big thing is to just have stuff at the right time when the big situations occur. But, you know, kind of the back and forth, it doesn't matter as much. Open the shutter. This will allow us to discard the silver key card, biohazard card. All right, a big pickup here. Make sure to grab the bow gun on the desk. It's a little hard to see sometimes. Definitely grab the bow gun. It will make life a lot easier in a couple of situations. The keypad here, it's the number that was on the painting, which is 1126. 1126. Yeah, that's what we observed through the the camera on the painting. Now we're gonna enter this room. Grab the acid rounds here on the desk. Do this first. We definitely want those acid rounds. And then run over here and we're gonna take the painting now. So these things are gonna come out and they can do some damage, but above all, they just kind of serve as a body block. I would recommend, again, just kind of ignore them. They're gonna drop in here. Yeah, they're kind of annoying. Sometimes you get right by them, sometimes you can't. Don't worry too much about them. Just follow the path I do here. And once you open this door, you'll be fine. Well, once you hit here, you'll be fine. So we obtained the skeleton painting. I actually am going the wrong way here. Let's see if I realize it. I realized it right away. Yeah, we want to go back to the elevator. Yeah, lots of back and forth in this game. Yeah, I've put a couple 100 hours into this game, and I'll still get it mixed up from time to time. All right, we're gonna head to the first floor now. Not sure what I was waiting on there, but yeah, first floor. Yeah, again, this is a little bit of movement you don't need to do. I managed to pull that off. That looked better than it probably deserved to. Yeah. You can just wait by the elevator and eventually the zombies will come towards you and you can shoot them there. Do that. Don't try to be needlessly fancy. I really don't have any idea why I did that. I think part of me is just maybe was excited because normally I don't fight these zombies. It's just run by all of them, shake them off if I get bit, and keep going. So maybe it was something like that. I'm not sure, but either way, we're gonna head into this room and use the skeleton painting here. Gets us the gold key. And the key means we're heading back to the first building where we met Alfred the first time. And we had to save Steve. So I did say one thing that wasn't true. We're going to have to go past these dogs again. Note that Steve is gone. Again, kind of hold up and upright upon heading out of here. One thing too, I believe you can play this game using the analog stick. I meant to try on this and I forgot, but I strongly recommend using the D-pad. I've always found it much easier for tank controls to use the D-pad, personally. And this is why I said don't bother knocking out the zombies, because eventually Bandersnatchers show up. Yeah, they're just lovely. Yeah, it is one thing with this game. It sets you up to backtrack a lot, and it will repopulate a number of the areas with enemies. Not all of them, but a number of them. We're going to get rid of this guy right here. Speaking of adding enemies. I don't know what Claire was aiming at there. I guess it's because she didn't see the other guy at all. So I mentioned that there is a zombie guarding a door earlier in the run. We're going to go ahead and take him out now. I got way too close to him there. This is where we're going to use that gold key we obtained. And we have to solve a little bit of a little puzzle. Actually, it's a legit puzzle. It's a little tricky. I don't know what I was waiting on there. You can go up there, grab the memo. That gives you the clues of how to solve it, but we want the bottom left, the painting of the woman. Then the back wall right side of the man with the two babies. Then the bottom right side with the red-haired man and the teacup. Then the back wall left, the red-haired man and the plate. Then the right wall back, man with the notepad or book, whatever you want to call that. And finally, the left wall back, the man in the suit and the candlestick. And then finally, the big painting in the middle showing the true leader of the Ashford family is indeed Alexia, not Alfred. Take the vase and head on out. All right, we're going to head to the second floor now. Yeah, I wanted to take that one out, but I ran out of ammo. Very unfortunate. We do get an item box in here and some more handgun bullets. I do finally go ahead and put the proof away, it looks like, or do I? I put the acid rounds away and the grenade launcher. Yeah, we don't need those quite yet. Grab the handgun ammo. Yeah, one thing, I do have several button inputs that are incorrect. I normally play this when I do speedruns on the GameCube version on using the Dolphin emulator setup. And I have my buttons mapped to where the B circle button is my inventory. On this, it's the start button, so I have, yeah, sometimes have a few mistakes in there. But yeah, go ahead, equip your lighter, get the ant out of the vase, and then go down and click use on the Lugers in front of the door. We're gonna head in here. There's some more handgun ammo on this little table in between the chairs there. Run over and use the computer. And play the video of the kids torturing the dragonfly. And it's going to ask for a password, which the block there will tell you, but the answer is 1970. Go over, hit enter, and a Bandersnatch is going to jump in. We do not want to kill it just because it takes a while and it's going to hit us. It's annoying. It's a very, very annoying placement for one. But yeah, just prep to run where that fixture is there. Yeah, he'll get a... He loves to get a Stretch Armstrong hit when you turn the corner there. It's very frustrating, but thankfully nothing happened in that instance. Again, if he does hit you and you go into caution, just go ahead and use a green herb. You will continue to get them throughout the run, no worries. There'll be, in fact, a few here in just a moment. So if you're in caution here and don't have any heals, be careful here for this first part, but overall you should be fine. Because there's going to be Bandersnatches here too. And they will have to get that cheap shot in there. You want to run around the corner there and up the stairs. And through the doors here. That's very annoying. And if you need to, again, heal. Just play it very, very safe if you have to. Unfortunately, with the current setup, we just don't have a great way to deal with them. I mentioned equipping the lighter, and this was why, is because we will have the bats coming up, and obviously this gets them off of us. Head up through here to trigger a cutscene.
Keep focused, brother.
And there's a green herb right off the bat. You can come back here by the door. May have seen it in the cutscene, but yeah, there's a box of handgun ammo. Once again, me hitting the wrong button. The tension. All right, run over to the music box. Go ahead and stop playing it. It's gonna make the bed, raise the bed. Go ahead and use the red ant though on the music box. It's gonna open it back up. And we're gonna want to take the music box plate out. and take that with you. Grab the key off of the bed, and it is time to leave. A bed slamming down always freaks me out. Very authoritative slam down there. And once again, keep that lighter out. Keep those bats away. And speaking of settings, speaking of the remake earlier, this is one of the particular areas that I think could look simply stunning in the modern graphics and everything. And don't forget about the Bandersnatches. You know, they're still out here doing what they do. Obviously, if you can, do your best to run to the side of them that doesn't have an arm. But yeah, just make the best you can with them. And if you find yourself to where like you're doing a run and you do get taken out by them, feel free to grab extra heals out of your item box if you have them. I would just say the biggest thing is just, again, try not to mix them too much. Even if you have to make an extra trip to put some into the item box or something like that, if you're worried about that and you want to grab them all, don't just carelessly mix them, though. Because sometimes when you go down the caution, yellow caution that is, and you just use one, you'll be back up to full health. You don't need to burn you don't need to mix them to get out of that. I feel like I'm repeating that a lot, but it's a common mistake that I see. So, you know, I just don't want you to burn through all of your healing items too quickly. We have some ammo now. We can finish this guy off. Quick, few shots there. He is down. And across here, there's going to be another guy blocking this next set of stairs. Now, the main item we need in this upcoming room, we can't actually obtain yet, but for one, we can use the silver key, which will use up one of its uses. But there is a nice item in here for us, apart from some handgun ammo. You may have seen it there on the table. Right there. It is the bowgun powder. And so what you can do is you can combine the bowgun powder with the regular bowgun arrows to get explosive arrows, which are very effective. I'm just running over here now to show you guys that there are 2 green herbs there as well. So grab those if you need them. And if you don't need them, we will be coming back in here and you can grab them later. We're gonna head back over to this side and open the final door in this part of the area. We're gonna equip the explosive bowgun though. So what you're gonna want to do is we're gonna be dealing with 2 Bandersnatches. When you get into this first room, take a step forward. I know this sounds weird, but you're going to want to, because if you don't, Claire will not aim where you want her to. And it's very frustrating. The bowgun aiming is sometimes just a little weird. But yeah, just go and run forward. You'll drop them really quick with those explosive bolts. Yeah, just only fire twice though. Don't rapid fire. You may end up wasting them. You do not want to waste the explosive bolts. But yeah, just drop both those guys. Because you have to go through this whole animation and grab the second of the eagle plates out of the floor there, and with the Bandersnatches around wanting to swing those arms and hit you constantly, it can be a pain to grab sometime. A little bit of a crapshoot, so you don't want to deal with that. But yeah, the explosive bolts makes quick work. And this may come as a shock, or maybe it's not a shock. You know, you've been playing Code Veronica. It is time to head all the way back to the beginning of the game. Note there is still the green herb there, if you were to need it. Or if you've already picked it up, that's okay. Yeah, we're heading all the way back to the beginning. You're gonna try to get around these guys. Again, do the best you can. Just keep going forward. It will be frustrating. I'll just say that's normal. Yeah, but I mentioned before at the start of the video, we'll be coming back down here. So if you left that herb behind, it's going to still be there waiting for you. All right, just run forward and then left. Yeah, once you reach right in front of that pile of stuff, that's when you want to turn and just head left and straight through the door. Gonna head to the right through the open padlock. I'll just ignore those dogs. And note, we have a couple of things to do down here. Definitely make sure you go this route first, because we will lose our lighter here soon, and there are bats coming up. So go this way first. And we're going to use the eagle plate on the door here. So that I'm backing up. Knock these zombies out. The music can help you out. The music will stop once they're both dead. Or you can just move up and actually see, which is what I should have done to begin with. There you go. Music stops, that means they're definitely done. Another explosive barrel there. Canister, whatever you want to call this. Another green herb sitting there as well. So this is a special zombie. And honestly, I probably should have just kept my grenade launcher, but you can use your explosive bolts and it'll be fine. Yeah, there's what do we, just the doctor zombie. I don't know what else to really call him besides that. He's like a souped up zombie. Now he's gonna go down fairly quick overall, but compared to other zombies, he's kind of tanky. And he moves significantly quicker. And the patient that he was feeding on is also a threat. What we're gonna want to do is we're gonna use the bow gun here. I said I normally would have the grenade launcher. I actually kind of intended to, but it's okay. If you've been following me and you're in this a very similar situation, you're totally fine. Go ahead and equip the bow though. I went and fired, and I mentioned how the aiming is weird. I aimed at the patient getting eaten instead of the doctor itself, which was kind of annoying to take a hit like that. But one shot will knock them both out. Or one for each will knock them out. And the zombie doctor will drop an eye. You can see it's sparkling there. I wanted to make sure it didn't randomly fall over there. He's usually not as far as close to the door as he is, but it is. Again, note the lighter is equipped. Run over here, use the eye, and open up the hidden passage for some steps. And down these steps will be more bats. There are 3 zombies in here. I don't do what I just did. Shoot them at the start of the doorway or pathway. And if you don't take them out, you do have the option to use your regular bowgun bolts, but do not use your incendiary bolts here. Don't waste them on regular zombies. I ran out of handgun ammo. There's some more right there on that little end table. I guess I'm committed to taking these guys out. Again, zombies I'm used to dodging, which is what I did at the start there, but it's better to take them out, you know, get them out of your way. And you don't want to risk any unneeded chain hits and burn through more healing. More when you're leaving than anything. There are some bolts there. Go ahead and grab those, by the way. Especially since they're right in our pathway. We're gonna come down here, grab the sword from the statue here, and then we're gonna have to do a little bit of a movement scenario. Pretty straightforward here. You can see where the lever out is. Just get behind it and push, and you know, head forward all the way. We're just gonna head counterclockwise here until the shield is facing the statue. That ends it. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now, when you put the sword into the maiden here, or whatever this is, a zombie's going to come out. As soon as it grabs you, mash the D-pad and the button, and you should always push this one off. Notice how he didn't bite me there. And then just run forward and grab the piano roll while he's still down, and then just go. You should have plenty of time to do that if you push him down, and then just run, grab it, and go. Now, one thing, if you wait here, he's gonna kind of follow you here. If you go too quickly, he'll actually spawn in front of you right there at that doorway, which is what normally happens on the speedrun. Once again, we're in the bad hallway, so we equip the lighter. Head on through. The lighter has served us well, but its time is about at its end. For Claire. And this area does repopulate with enemies as well. So since I was low with ammo, I decided I was just going to knock that guy over. Maneuver my way around. There is an explosive canister here. Shoot it to knock out at least the one guy and go through this gate here. Yeah, situations like that, take note of what your ammo is. Definitely, because that way you don't try to set up for a fight that you're not equipped to do. Yeah, some ammo there on the barrels. We're gonna jump onto this crate. Just hit X or A, whichever you're using on your controller, or your controller. Push that crate out of the way, but then a very nice item box here. Very important drops here on the item for this box. We need to get the hemostatic medicine out. It was time to go visit Rodrigo again. Go ahead and take the case out as well. That'll make sense here in a moment. I don't know what I was doing here. I think I want the arrows too. But I actually need 2 inventory slots here real quick. There we go. The proof way, grab the... Yeah, okay. Okay. Probably overthinking that a little bit, but nevertheless. All right, you may recognize this area. Yeah, all the way back from the beginning, we're going to finally grab those flame rounds and BOW rounds from out of here, and we're going to head right back out. That's how you sneak them past the metal detector. Out the back door. The BOW rounds in particular are important, but we're going to use both the flame and. Go ahead and put those away. I'm going to assume I grab my arrows back. There we go. Or not. Once again, we got to get by these guys, but that extra box of ammo is going to help. And believe it or not, it's almost time to put this area behind us for good. Head to the left through the gate, through the door here. And now we're going to head straight. Be careful of the zombies here. You should have some wide enough spaces to easily get around them. If you see a path or you don't see a path right away, just go back through the door before and go through again. But, of course, we got to go by these graveyard zombies one final time. Well, technically, two more times. That was number one. We got to go back again after this. But, yeah, same deal as before with them. With the hemostatic medicine in hand, though, we're going to trigger a cutscene with Rodrigo, which checks another requirement off the list, which is save Rodrigo. Although technically it is finished a little later, but this was the big hurdle for it. Heal. We can now, with the lockpick from Rodrigo in exchange for our lighter, we're going to get 10 more bowgun powder shots. Yeah, well worth the effort. All right, final time through the double doors here. And that entire part, the prison section of the game, is complete. We have no need to go back there for any other reason now. Thankfully, the fire doesn't hurt you there, but it's always annoying when it does it, when you do get hit by it. Of course, again, the banner snatches. Almost done with them as well. I'm very, very, very happy to say. And we're going to run up here. I'm going to finally grab this herb here in front of the doors here. And use it right away. Try to go in the doors. We're going to meet an old friend first. Well, not really a friend for Claire, but an old friend to us Resident Evil fans. And after that, we're gonna head through the double doors. Back up the steps. And now we're gonna head back into this room before. I remember I mentioned that we'd be back in here with a key item. And the piano roll is that. So obviously run over to the piano and use it. And if you haven't already, go ahead and you have the space, go ahead and grab the, make sure to grab the ant and then of course the herbs here. All right, with this in hand, it is time to head back up to Alfred and Alexia's quarters. Yeah, grab the bowgun bolts out so we can make some more explosive bolts. And grab the grenade launcher. As we are slowly but surely phasing our handgun out. Again, be careful going through this door. This is the room with the Bandersnatch. Oh, those hits like that right there drive me nuts. Now, this area is populated with zombies. We're going to go ahead and take as many of them out as possible. And for here, I'm going to use the basic arrows. Or bolts. And you can see they don't do a ton. However, I have a whole bunch of them that otherwise are going to go to waste. So I'm just going to pelt these guys with them, and they will take them out eventually. Use up the final handgun ammo I have. And for this last guy, he'll get a shot from the grenade launcher. Note the range on the basic explosive grenades is not the best. So you do need to be kind of close to hit with them, but they do massive damage at close range. Once again, run around here. Of course, the Bandersnatches decide to spawn back in and through the doors. This is why I don't recommend knocking some of these enemies out, because they're just going to be respawning anyway. Get rid of that guy. If you want, you can take out that one that's right there at the base of the steps as well. Get rid of this guy who's blocking your pathway. And there's going to be one more, which is pretty easy to avoid in all honesty. If you don't feel the need to shoot him, go ahead and skip him. But I do just to keep my ammo in line if you decide to do so. We're going to head to the Claire's left now. Another guy kind of completely bottlenecking the pathway through there. This guy here, I do decide to dodge. Again, shoot him if you feel you need to, though. But big thing is get into this doorway here. Run over to the music box. Now we have the blue ant. and finally use the music plate. All right, now that we're up here, run to Claire's left. There's a green herb on the ground right there. It's a little hard to see. And keep running around, and you'll see a dragonfly sitting on this small chair here. Grab that. All the way back around to where the ant is. And we're going to examine or check the dragonfly. Pull off its wings, much like the children do in the videos. And then use it, and it'll go into the ant's mouth and trigger the carousel here. We're going to head up yet another ladder. This is me double checking if there was any ammo sitting around in here, but there's not. Just go ahead and push this block forward, though. Climb up it, and then grab the file here. And finally, Air Force proof. We already have the Navy proof. And you may have noticed where the Army proof is, but we've been ignoring it up until now. Climb down all the ladders. And believe it or not, the first half of the game is nearly complete. It would be the first half if you played this game on the GameCube or the Dreamcast.
Claire Redfield, hold it.
Run over and check the wig on the music box. Gonna trigger the cutscene. And after all of that, it's time to leave. And we're gonna pretty much just retrace our steps out of here. Oh, and that's the grab attack. That's how, like I said, you know if it got you. Now, I'm still in fine after it, but I do go ahead and heal anyway. Because even though you're still listed as fine, I've taken probably 20% damage there. And so I just go ahead and heal anyway. Pelted, but finally we're past them. Banner stenches are very annoying. And once again, just kind of retracing our steps out of this place. Ooh, almost got hit there again. I think this is me realizing I need to get the Navy proof out of the inventory box. And make sure you have the two of them with you. Yep. I normally never bank any of them, but in this particular run, it was called for. All right. You may have seen where this last proof is, though. We need 3 of them. We have the Navy and the Air Force. It's right there. You may have seen that glistening. But waiting to pick it up is nice because it's going to trigger this. And yeah, we don't need it until now anyway.
We gotta get to that airport.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All
Just on a video note, I do hope you don't mind the fact that I've taken a few more pauses than I do in some of my videos, trying to pace them out, let them breathe a little bit, especially with the door animations and so much back and forth here. Yeah, hopefully you don't mind. I don't want to call it dead air so much as just paced air. You know, I'd rather try to avoid repeating myself endlessly and hopefully just kind of letting things breathe a little bit is all right. And we're gonna head to the left side, just go right by the zombies there. It's well worth taking them out if you really feel the need to, but they're pretty easy to get around. There's a lot of space in that room. And this is where we're gonna go over to the monitor, hit it, and then we're gonna use the 3 proofs right here. As Steve stands there and does very, very little. That's going to allow us to get onto this plane. But it's never that easy. This is Resident Evil after all. It's never that easy. So head up the steps here and Steve's going to task us with raising the bridge. Here's the lever to do so right at Claire's feet. Make sure to grab that. Down the steps. There is an inventory box to Claire's right before opposite the steps here. So if you do need to grab some items, that's a good spot to do it. We'll also have another one coming up here shortly. Once again, you have plenty of room to get around these guys. The big thing is just don't burn through your grenade rounds too quickly. It's worth trying to dodge just some of these enemies, because if you've been grabbing every single heal, you should have a decent amount built up now. Head back up the elevator here and through, but not mess with the panel this time. We're going to head through the door on the opposite end. Here's the panel to use the lever that we grabbed in the airplane one. And this will raise the bridge. Now the question is, we have to get Claire back to the plane though. And we're going to use an elevator to do that, but we need to cross here to get the key for it. Just gonna run forward here. There are a bunch of zombies here. Don't worry, you're fine. I grab the airport key and turn around and head on out. And we're gonna head down the elevator here, and you may have noticed this gated spot here, the glowing red light. That's what the airport key is for. It'll raise the gate, and we can head through the shutter here. And this is where another item box is if you need it. Go ahead and push this block forward though. And this next one, you don't push the way you'd think. There are 2 herbs here. You can save one for later. I'll just say that. We will be back down here. Grab the grenade rounds for sure. I also grabbed the handgun rounds just in case. And we're gonna push this block all the way until Claire no longer can move it anymore. And now push it in. It seems weird, but this is indeed the way they want you.
5 minutes.
And the moment you click the elevator, the countdown's going to start. And we're coming up on the tyrant fight. Or, well, sort of fight. And this fight is pretty straightforward. The big thing is having your position correct. You cannot run past him. Let me make that very clear. And don't go too far back, or he can hit you into the fire. You'll know what I mean here in a moment. So, what you'll want to do is take a very precise number of steps. And for the doors to kind of help me catch up here. You want to take about 3 steps. I usually just count to 3. So when this goes, skip the cutscene. And go 1, 2, 3, and then I start shooting. And just keep firing. He's gonna go down on 1 knee. He will get back up after this. Keep firing. He's gonna get back up. Fire again. Once he's going down for the 2nd time, though, he's finished. You've got him. So after that, open the gate and you're home free. And just make our way back to the plane now. Yeah, that fight's not too bad. The biggest thing, like I said, is the distance. Making sure you have a good handle on that. Yeah, there is something I should mention about what's coming up, and that is another boss fight against that tyrant. So to prepare for it, we're going to use the item box, and we're going to grab our BOW rounds and the acid rounds. And I'll make sure to mention this again when we're there. The shooting is shooting and positioning is very precise. That's why I'm kind of mentioning it right away. But the big thing is just make sure you fire quickly, but make sure you're in the right spot first and foremost. But if we do it quickly and correctly, you shouldn't have to. You should definitely not take any damage or anything like that. We're gonna get everything re-equipped, head back to the plane. It is time for takeoff. Don't worry if you don't have your acid rounds or anything with you. You're fine. Here you are fine. We're going to use that item box that's in the plane before we have to deal with the tyrant.
So long. We may
All right, skip all the cutscenes. Alfred launches the tyrant onto the plane here from a jet that he's flying in. Head down the steps, over to the item box, and the key here is definitely take, as before mentioned, the acid rounds and the BOW gas rounds. Take both of those, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the bow gun away, it looks like. We don't need it for now. And then we're going to equip the BOW rounds. Now, once we head through the door, this is nowhere near as difficult as I'm saying. It's just, it is a dangerous fight. So just be very careful. Definitely have a couple heals if you can as well, just in case. But once you go through the door, the cutscene will play. Skip the cutscene. And you're going to fire 1, 2, 3. All 3 BOW rounds. Now, don't hit the wrong button like I did. Open your inventory. Switch. Equip the acid rounds. We're going to fire 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to stagger back a little bit. That's going to give us time to hit that catapult and launch him. And that's it. That's the fight. Yeah, the big thing is know that hit that catapult though. So have your turn ready, and you'll be fine. So an interesting note that I was actually going to mention before, but I kind of was skipping that fight in my head, is we finished the first half of the game, and you can save here. This is a valid save. You'll notice how it says Claire 00 even on the save count, starting part 2. So what this is when this game was originally released, it was on the Sega Dreamcast as a 2-disc game. And you had to save your game to move on from disc 1 to disc 2. So it's a free save. It won't hurt your rating to use it. But in this day and age, we can use that to our advantage as a free save. So if you have a very good part 1 you're happy with, you can keep going from that save and just keep retrying this part onward until you get the run you need. So if you happen to die from here on out, you can reload that save and keep going. Now, do not hit retry, obviously. That won't work. But just go back to the main menu, reload your save at that end of part 1 save, and you're good. By the way, I do fight the zombies here. I don't recommend doing this because they will repopulate again later. And also, you do have pretty easy areas to get around them overall. Yeah, I kind of end up having to waste some ammo, but I just use the final of the acid rounds I have here. Get rid of this guy. But yeah, so even though it says no saves, you are allowed to save that one time. Now, if you do it any other time, I just want to make sure I say this loud and clear, it will invalidate your A rank, and you'll reduce the B. Or if you're on the Japanese version, it'll go from S to A. We're going to head into this room labeled weapon to get the mining room key. I go ahead and get rid of these zombies since they're in the way. That would have been an easy bite there for it. Now we're going to head forward and into the BOW room, which is straight ahead. Now, there are spiders in here, and these things, you're going to see them give me some trouble, but you're going to notice also they don't do a ton of damage. The fear here is that they poison you, and I'll point out where there are blue herbs to heal the poison. But yeah, you just want to run to the back here and grab this barcode sticker at the back end of the room on those crates there. And then we need to get out of here. And they're kind of just standing here in the way. I saw they were going to shoot poison, so I ran to the other side there. I'm trying to get around them again, and there. Yeah, they're a bit of a nuisance. There are some herbs in there, but it's not worth grabbing with them clanking around in there. But with them out of the way, them done with, we're going to head to the right and up the stairs here and use the mining room key. Make sure to discard it. Yeah, a little bit of a bizarre sequence note here. You cannot reshape the valve handle, which we'll be doing here shortly, until you observe this spot right here. You need to go up and see that. Notice that you need the shape of an octagon. If you do not see that, Claire will not be allowed to reshape the valve handle. So make sure you go over there and click on that. That was not me making a mistake there. That is required for the playthrough. So in this room, it is dark here, but there are herbs on the ground. You can grab those. There's also handgun ammo on that. It's that spot right there. A little, again, very hard to see. Grab the bullets. Take out the dogs in here. There is another box of ammo there as well. Pretty good supplies in this room because we're going to go forward through here and around this back area. This is going to let us turn on the lever to help get the power going. And around here, there's going to be another dog right there. You notice I shot it. Tamarind, there's another herb here, though, that it was kind of guarding. 2 herbs, excuse me. And there is one more dog in here, so be careful. I mean, to Claire's left. There we go. Flip the lever to turn the power all the way on. And we can actually see now, which is always nice. All right, with the power on, we're ready to head down the steps here, head to this middle section, flip this lever here. Then we're going to run over to the BOW box here and use the barcode sticker that we got from the spider room. And use the lever here. That's going to transport goods to the BOW room, which is where the spiders were. And it's going to cause a nasty leak in the room. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why we're randomly was going the wrong way there, but yeah. Into the BOW room. On Claire's immediate left is the gas mask, which that becomes available because we sent that straight through. And now we're ready to head up to the upper levels. So with the moths here, just run through. These things are very random and very annoying. And of course, like many things, they do respawn, so killing them is not worth it. On top of the fact that they're just kind of hard to hit, but they'll keep coming back. So don't waste your time. A little bit of inventory adjustment here. Now here's a big notable thing. I'm going to put an extra herb away. And I'm also going to put the grenade launcher away as well. So note, I only have the handgun, knife, and a couple of heals. I have 2 heals there. I'm going to grab another heal right here. You do not want any other weapons than what I have equipped there. The knife, the handgun, and then a couple of heals. Other than that, nothing else. Well, I mean, you want the gas mask, but no other disposable items. Weapons, or ammunition, or healing. Grab the butler's letter from the locker. Hit the button. Skip the cutscene with Nosferatu and grab the planner in the corner here. Yeah, again, make note of the inventory. Definitely make sure your bow gun and your grenade launcher are in the box. And unfortunately, I got an egg planted on Claire there. Again, they're just random, very annoying. That really doesn't do anything. What they're designed to do, I think, is cause Claire to go through that animation. And the hope is that you're in a room with zombies. So you're stuck doing that, then a zombie can grab you. Run to the left. And we're going to need to examine the potted plant. I, of course, checked the door wrong, but yeah. Go ahead and check the potted plant. Grab the key from underneath. And we're going to run through here and get the before mentioned valve handle. Now this is a square valve handle that we need to have cut into an octagon shape. So a good old 3D printer is going to be needed yet again on this playthrough. Sort of.
Claire, it looks like
There's Steve. Now, if you haven't played this game with the cutscenes, I'm just going to make note of it here. Steve causes a massive gas leak in the facility because he's maneuvering stuff to, you know, help them get out. And he gets distracted because he happens to notice Claire's very nice figure. And he's distracted and causes the leak. Good job, Steve. So anyway, that aside, we're going to head across to the other side, grab some handgun ammo. There is a blue herb there that may be worth grabbing. I'm not sure if I grab it here. I said 3D printer before. That is not the case. It's just the reshapener here, though. And it's going to cut the valve handle into the octagon. I do eat the valve handle. There's some more handgun ammo there as well. You can just ignore the zombie there, though, and head on out. All right, we are almost done with this segment of the game. Time to head back downstairs. Again, you may notice I was right by another door there. You can go in that room and there are notes and you can find some handgun ammo and a few other things, but it's not worth it because there are enemies and you're probably going to either get grabbed or have to deal with them. I did get hit by the moths. Note there are planted blue herbs there. So that's like an infinite use of blue herbs right there by the across from the door there. So if you get poisoned, go there. But they didn't actually poison me. They just did damage. So quick use of a green herb there. Gonna get by all these guys. This is a heavy respawn area. But I sneak by. We put on the gas mask and head through this door. And I'm gonna make note. We're about to use the sniper rifle. Make sure you know, now be careful not to fire it. Don't waste ammo with it. But make sure before triggering the event where we need to use it, you know how to zoom with it and have a decent handle with it. Even if, you know, just take 30 seconds, take a minute, whatever you need to make sure you know how it handles. It is a little awkward. So just test it out a little bit. Now, when you pick it up, a cutscene's going to trigger and move the game forward. That's okay. You'll have a moment to test it, though. Blair's going to grab it, and it's instantly going to move you forward here.
What are you doing? Let's go.
But yeah, I'd recommend testing it out. Just don't hit whatever your fire button is on your setup. And for me, with the PS4 Type B setting, it was L1 to scope. It's normally L2, which is what I'm trying to do, but it's L1. So I'm figuring that out here. Again, just test this out, get a feel for it, how it moves, everything, and then run over here and it's going to trigger the boss. Note, I run kind of towards the boss and then back. That has him lined up. And when he rears back to attack, that's when you want to shoot him in the heart. Don't just fire blindly in there. Wait until he's about to attack. Think of it as a counter attack. So here I get myself at a bad angle and he's going to get an attack off. And he's going to hit you with this purple smoke. And that will cause poison if Claire takes enough damage. It's slightly different than other fights. So I'm taking heavy damage here, but I'm only in, no, I'm going to be in yellow caution. If I take too many more hits, though, I'm going to be poisoned, and you cannot cure it with a blue herb.
I've got you now.
And again, we just hit him. 3 hits to the heart, and then 1 random other hit will do it. If you finish him with the heart, that's how you trigger the cutscene there. So let me make note, though. If you got poisoned in there, don't worry. I didn't get poisoned, but I'll show you what to do if you do get poisoned. So don't worry, we'll get you squared away. Yeah, there's Rodrigo again. He's eaten by the giant worm. The worm is back, and we're now playing as Chris. And remember how I mentioned to put the bow gun and grenade launcher away? This is why. Because for some bizarre Resident Evil world reason, the item box has the grand powers of teleportation and everything, and you can indeed use the items from Claire with Chris. That's just how they decided to make this game work. But equip the bow gun. We're gonna take 6 steps forward here with Chris. Turn. You may randomly start missing like I do. Just drop your aim and re-aim, and then fire the incendiary bolts in and knock him out. If you just make sure to pay attention if you're hitting your shots. If you miss, stop and re-aim. And if he burrows under again, just pause and go ahead and, well, not pause, but go ahead and move around. Try your best to not get hit, re-aim, and take him out. If you come back in here, you can use the lighter to unlock the SMGs, which is pretty good for dealing with the zombies around the game or in Chris's section. Not the worst option. And it's definitely better than the handgun. And we're also going to be done with the bow gun for now. It's final. It's 8 shots for me. Hopefully it's roughly around that for you. If it's not, that's okay. Yeah, you should have enough supplies for the end game without it. It just, the more you have, the better. But again, it's not the end of the world if you don't have any more. Just be careful not to burn through too many grenade rounds if you are completely out. I will add that. But yeah, we go through all this effort to save Rodrigo. We get him the hemostatic medicine. We kill the worm, but it was just too much, and he dies anyway. So even though it says save Steve, save Rodrigo, you know, things don't always work out quite that way. Yeah, we'll be back in some familiar territory back here on Rockford Island. Heading in here, and we're going to take our SMGs for a spin. Chris can just run over some of these zombies with him. If you need to adjust your aim, you can press the L1 button to do so. Making sure I got rid of, I know there's a zombie right there, so I wanted to make sure I got rid of him. Guy's down, and we can head on out. The dogs that were here earlier are now gone, so you don't have to worry about them. We're gonna head left and move the tank, which is what Alfred does earlier. There are shotgun shells and herbs outside here. You can grab them now, or you can grab them later. It's probably better to grab what you can now, because this area will have enemies in it very shortly. So just take everything you can. And head into the brown door here. Yeah, definitely go in here first, too. Trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Grab the shotgun shells here on the desk. You'll notice I'm not grabbing the handgun ammo. We're pretty well at the point that the handgun is getting phased out of the playthrough. It's just becoming less and less useful. We're getting better stuff to work with. Grab the acid rounds. These acid rounds are very important. Definitely grab those. I guess I just now realized I shouldn't be putting these shotgun shells away as well. Grab another herb there, and we can head on out. Grab the battery off the ground and be prepared for spiders to join the show. You're gonna run to Chris's right here. Notice how I ran immediately to his right, and that's almost a guaranteed dodge on that spider as long as you do it well. It's pretty straightforward how to do it. I said do it well, but it's not too bad. We're going to come back through here now with our newly acquired battery. Use it here to power up this lift. We can now climb aboard and ride up to the first floor. Or, well, technically a second. Excuse me. Before we head through, though, we're going to grab the chem storage key here on the left. You have to Go through the file there.
There was a
Obviously, skip the cutscenes. Keep skipping them. There's some good ones with Wesker and the Ashfords and everything, but you want to skip them. This is me taking quick inventory of my stuff, what I want to do next. Because there are herbs sitting there, but I don't want them quite yet. Head to the elevator. We're going to go down to the basement floor now. And head down these now lowered steps through the door here. Don't grab the shotgun, flame rounds, or handgun ammo just yet. We don't have the space for them, and we will get them later. There's also a green herb here in the corner. I stood right over there. You can see it as I'm going up the steps. Another option to grab if you need them. Head through the door. Now, here's a key part here. This is very important. Do not grab the doorknob first. So you'll see it sparkling there on the right. Do not grab that yet. Go through this door first. The reason you want to do this is we're about to start having to deal with hunters. And if you do the doorknob there, that's what triggers them to come in. And by doing so, you're going to spawn a poison hunter, which is a lovely new beast to this game. It will spawn after you solve this situation. When we set the temperature, set it to 12.8 degrees. And change over. But yes, by doing it in this order, though, that poison hunter I mentioned will not spawn in here, so you'll be okay. There's a red herb on the desk here. Go ahead and grab it. That'll give us another full heal. Then there's a blue herb here, which with the poison hunters coming into play, I'm going to grab now. And I will combine it into my green herb here. So that way I'll be able to grab the doorknob. I can't quite recall what the poison hunters are called. I believe they're called seekers, but I could be wrong. Somebody feel free to correct me. I can't quite remember. But either way, they're very nasty. So with the hunters here, don't worry about fighting them, especially with two of them. And there are several hunters we're going to run across, and we only have so few acid rounds. I got lucky there, but typically just run for the door. You can hopefully get through with one, maybe two hits. Of course, if you take damage, either use one of your heals that you have. If you're low, use the full heal if you have it. Or if you're just in yellow caution, you could always wait and grab the green herb that I just walked by right there. But otherwise, just head for the door, though. I would definitely not recommend fighting them. Back up the steps, and we're going to head back to the elevator now. With the doorknob in hand, we're ready to head to the second floor. And we can get Chris a nice upgrade. You may remember Claire had one earlier. We can grab one for him now. And we're also going to have to deal with our first hunter drone. First, let's get rid of these zombies. But you may have seen in the cutscene briefly playing there are hunter drones. These things can put out a little vision cone, and if they spot you, a hunter will spawn into the room that you're in. And, they're pretty easy to avoid. You just need to be patient. Be certain when you move. Yeah, you'll see your window to go pretty clearly. But the first one will be through the door straight ahead. See the blue emblem that we worked so hard to place, dropping down. I was a little aggressive there, but yeah, you can wait. But yeah, just take your opening. Make sure to grab that side pack right there for Chris, though. Do not forget the side pack. It'll make life very tough on you if you happen to. Right over to this door here, you can just hit mash through, and you'll use the doorknob automatically. We're gonna head to Chris's left to grab the tank figurine. You may have seen the diorama for earlier in the run with Claire. It's segments like these that I honestly have a feeling will probably not make it into the remake. Not that this is necessarily bad stuff, but it is kind of retracing old steps. I have a feeling a lot of this type of stuff will probably get axed. Hopefully replaced in a more effective way, but streamlined in a more effective way. But yeah, I don't know how you feel about the backtracking in this game. Overall, it doesn't really bother me too much when I'm doing it. Watching it back, though, it's like, man, we really do go through a lot of these areas a few times. Quite a few times. But yeah, anyway, we're going to head to the elevator, go to the first floor. We really see everything the rooms have to offer. Another hunter, scout is out there. Just wait, run through. Use the model tank to complete the diorama. Now we're going to grab the turntable key. And of course a note, because we got to get our lore in. And with that in hand, we're heading right back to the basement. Yep. Second floor, first floor, basement, basement, first floor, second floor. Once again, go down the steps and through the door here at the end. Once again, don't grab the shotgun or the flame rounds quite yet. If by some chance you used all of your grenade rounds, then maybe you would want to grab the shotgun early, but you really shouldn't need to. Hopefully you haven't burned through too many. Cutscene with Wesker, skip it, run to the right side of the Bandersnatch, get around it. Thankfully, that's the only time we'll have to deal with him. The hunters in here are gone, thank goodness. And we can use the turntable key. So, upon getting up the elevator here, we are going to enter a very dangerous little segment of the game where there are a lot of hunters. We're going to use the acid rounds on them. They do super effective damage to them. And a big noteworthy spot is right here through this doorway here. There's going to be two hunters. We're going to go to the elevator that's going to be on the left side of the screen to Chris's right. Notice I break immediately. I do take a hit, but I get through. That's what you want to do. And we're going to come back up this elevator. Only when we come back, there will be poison hunters. And we want to do the same thing except going the reverse path. But it's very dangerous. And there will be more hunters ahead. We'll point them out. I take out pretty much all of them. hopefully show you guys some good tricks to do so without getting hit too hard. That green herb we saved before is still waiting. I'm just gonna bank some of our stuff here. I'm gonna throw the full heal into the box, it looks like. Which, if you don't feel you need to copy me exactly with some of this, if you are nervous about the hunters and everything, go ahead and hold on to that. And if they get you into orange health or danger or whatever, keep it and use it. That's what they're there for. There's plenty of heals, as you can see. I'm stacking up piles because I know what to expect and where they're going to come from. But hit that hunter with the acid rounds. Sometimes they do take two. When they let out that loud screechy sound, that means they're down, but they once again will bleed out like zombies do too. Make sure you know they're defeated. Cross the raised bridge, and we need to lower it so we can get back to where the proofs were. But to do so, we need to reset the oil pressure here. So we're gonna do a little puzzle here. The answer here is 3, 3, 5. Now with it filled, go ahead and hit the 10. Now 3, 3, 5. Yep, simple as that. Now these zombies are gonna wake up that we're in here for Claire. You can just ignore them. There are shotgun shells there, but unless you're at the most desperate need for ammo for some reason, do not worry about them. You should not need them at all. But yeah, I'm just mentioning it. All right, with that set, we can lower the bridge. All right, now on the bridge, there will be a hunter here. Here's a great way to deal with this one, though. I'm going to run roughly, yeah, right about there. You're going to hear it walk. Just stand there, back up a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Right about to the square there. You're going to see him, fire an acid round into him. Now, don't run too far. Don't get too aggressive, because you may trigger them to do a jump attack, and you definitely don't want that. Now, do not waste your grenades, though, on these zombies. Definitely make sure to switch back to your SMGs. Those ones have explosives strapped to the back, so don't be too close. If you do get too close, just push it. It's better to take the bite and move him out of the way and just go around him. Now, in this next door, there's going to be another hunter. He's not going to be looking at us right away, though. I actually kind of bait him. He's actually easy to get by without killing, but I decided to kill him just for the safety of the run here. Go ahead and fire into him. He's still alive, so I switched to the SMGs and aimed down, and they actually do a pretty good job of finishing it off, so that is an option for dealing with them if you want to go that route. We turn off the power, and we can grab all 3 proofs. Yeah, I apologize. I should have mentioned before that you do need 3 inventory slots here. Hopefully you didn't overload with heals, because I was doing my hunter scare speech. But hopefully you didn't just have to do a backtrack because of me. I do apologize if you did. I truly do. That was a mistake. Thankfully, it's not too far. We're actually going to run right past that item box that you may have had to use. here in a moment. We're going to go through the airport key gate. Let's run straight ahead. Once again, now that I've gotten past the bulk of the hunters there, I decide I can probably gonna put one of my heals away. That's what I'm guessing. Or I'm oh, no, wait. Yeah, if you have a blue herb, mix it with a green herb and carry it with you. Definitely have heals here. This is where the seekers are. Yeah, I almost jumped ahead there. This is where the poison hunters will be. So again, don't panic. Just run forward and plan to head left to Chris's left into the double doors. And if you need to, watch ahead, watch the inputs to see which direction you need to make sure you turn the right way. It's a very basic thing to do, and the hunters don't always cooperate that well. I do apologize if they hit you. It's just sometimes it is random, but yeah, just make sure you get that movement right. Don't spend too much time out there with them. They are very nasty. Through the door here is, of course, a zombie. Now, I took some hits, but I'm still in fine, but I'm going to go ahead and use a heal here because there is another one hidden behind this table here on the ground. I'm going to go grab that just to replace it, so I'm at full health now. This last guy, I think I'm just going to dodge him. He's all the way over there, so I just ran around him. There's going to be a zombie on the ground in the area coming up. Just run against the gate here, pretty much. You'll get around him. Head down the ladder, and we're going to flip a lever that we saw much earlier in the run. We're going to turn on the ventilation so Chris can pass through without all the gas through here. So before I go through this room here, you notice I'm equipping my grenade launcher. We have another hunter that loves to get in the way here. Not many more of them, I promise. There we go. Get rid of him. Got a one shot on him. Even better. And here, I realize I'm filled up on my inventory, so I'm just going to use the other heal to get rid of it, make space. Grab the other half of the chemical. Now combine the chemical. And there we go. Yeah, some handgun ammo. For some reason, you would need that, isn't there? Also, there were acid rounds locked up in there, you may have noticed. If you come back with Claire after getting the lockpick from Rodrigo, you can obtain that. But it is such a sidetrack to go do. It is not worth it in any way, I would say. Yeah, figure past these zombies any way you can. If you need to, just use your SMGs on them. Me making sure I'm not going the wrong way. And we're headed back to the first floor now. All three proofs in hand. All right, throw all three proofs in here. We're gonna flip the lever behind the lights once they're gone. All right, so upon moving this out of the way, there is a green herb back there. And I'm pretty well at this point grabbing every single heal just because I want to show you guys where all of them are, as many as possible, and everything like that. And there'll be quite a few more ahead. So if you're still kind of teetering where you don't have quite enough or you're just barely having enough, don't worry, they keep coming. There's another one right here. And then there's some grenade rounds right behind it. If by some chance you have trouble picking these up and the spiders are getting close, just go ahead and go forward and down the ladder. You hopefully won't need either of them right away. And we're going to come right back through here and you can get a second chance to grab them before the spiders. So just go down the ladder if they're in your way. So we're gonna need to grab the eagle proof or eagle metal or whatever this thing was called, I forget now. And to do so, we're gonna need to jump in the water. Now there is this thing that we saw earlier that broke out of went through the ventilation after we grabbed the painting. We don't need to kill this thing. I don't recommend doing so. If we can just run to the middle of the room, he can be annoying and he does hit hard. He knocked me into caution here. Let's go ahead and heal. Grab the metal and eagle plate. There we go. And then just leave. Yeah, you're good. That's all you have to do. Combine the eagle plate with the chemical and we're ready to leave. There's plenty of herbs here. We can grab on the way out as well. But yeah, there are a couple bosses. Now, there's one I do later. I fight and I actually get penalized for it. And I'll make mention of it. But there are a couple of fights you can just outright skip in this game. Which is kind of nice. It's just a nice change of pace. Makes it seem a little... far be it for me to say this about Resident Evil. A little more realistic. Like, you know, this giant thing's stuck in a room or stuck in an environment. We can just leave. Yeah, it's kind of nice. All right, though. We are actually ready to leave Rockford for good. For real this time. No more elevators or anything like that. Well, more elevators, but no more Rockford elevators. Just gonna head to the basement one final time. Head down the metal staircase one final time. And now we're going to take those flame rounds and the shotgun. But first I need to make some space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the green and blue herb. I'm going to fire off the last acid round here since I want to equip the flame rounds anyway. So I'm just going to get rid of that. If you only have like one acid round, it's worth it to do that. If you're really worried that you're burning through valuable resources, though, you're fine. I mean, if you're really worried is what I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say you're fine, but go find an item box and drop them off. You can do exactly what I'm doing here. There'll be a save room you go by. But, yeah, it's not the end of the world if you burn like one thing like that, one round like that. I take a heal there just so I can grab this red herb. I'm at 100% health. We're going to have another full heal here. I'm going to grab another red herb just in case. And this is actually one of the cool loop arounds of this game. I really like this one in particular. And we're back here by where the spiders were. So very nice bit of half design there by the devs. Gonna head back into the save room though. Gonna clean up the inventory a little bit. Put the full heal away. Grab the green herb. Put the one of the poison heals away. Let's see, do we drop the SMG at this point? I put the full heal away, grab a base heal. I think I maybe put the SMG away. Maybe I keep it for a little bit. Actually, I think I keep it. I put the shotgun away. Yeah. Grab the extra flame rounds we had from before. All right, with the flame rounds equipped, it is time to leave Rockford. Now, the flame rounds are not required here. They're just quicker. It's an efficient thing, but it's by no means required for what we're going to be using it for. All right, we're just like that. We're in Antarctica with Chris. And the final stretch of the game. So we need to fire 2 flame rounds into the tentacle there to make it retreat. And yeah, that's what those were there for. They get rid of them much quicker than other weapons will. So like I said, it's kind of an efficiency thing as much as anything. We're going to head around down the steps and into that save room. There's one more thing to do in that save room. If you noticed it, good on you. But we can definitely do it now. Right here next to this bookcase, we can grab the paperweight. One of the more interesting items. We get a barcode sticker, we get a paperweight. You get a little bit of everything in this game. They offer you an ink ribbon, but might as well say no, you can't save anyway. We're gonna head back upstairs. So if this is your first time playing the game by chance, just as a heads up, the reason this area is suddenly covered in ice and everything is when Claire and Steve escape, you know, they kind of puncture a hole in the facility wall and water floods in and everything like that. And so it's frozen over a good portion of the area. Run through here. We're going to grab this valve handle, the same valve handle that was cut by Claire earlier. I'm going to switch to my SMGs because these zombies, there's too many zombies here. You know, they have to get up. It's just the way it works. Don't worry, this is an unskippable scene. You know, we're just stuck watching it. Notice I'm already prepping to fire. You can see the input up at the top. I just knock those 2 out, and then I just kind of run for it. There's no need to stay there any longer. We don't have anything else to do there, so yeah, just go if you gotta go. And we can now cross that gap by walking on the ice and enter this door. So when we come through here, though, we are going to walk right into a hunter sensor. So the hunter is going to come through the opposite door. Just stand right about here, aim down, and fire a flame round end. And it's not going to finish him off, most likely. If it doesn't, which you'll tell by the music, just fire again right into him and finish him off. And hey, another elevator. All right, you can hear a hunter. It's a poison hunter. So once again, we're gonna kind of wait for it to go across the corner here. Fire a flame round into it, and another one into it, and it's done. always pay attention to sounds in this game. Which I know it may be a little quiet on my end, but hopefully the visual does its job there. Right, we're gonna run over here, go ahead and use the valve handle. This is gonna power the facility back up. Or well, it will once we flip this lever now. And again, haha, we can actually see. And we can see plenty of herbs on the ground, along with some shotgun shells as well. And now is when I put the SMG away. Grab the shotgun in its place. Yeah, there will be plenty of shotgun ammo around. There's, I'll mention another box coming up very shortly as well. And so we're gonna head to the left here. There's a bunch of zombies around this bend. Take out the shotgun, wait right about here, aim up, and kind of aim towards the group as best as you can. You can get multiple headshots. Unfortunately, I didn't get all of them I needed, so just yeah, take them out if you need to. There's going to be more though when on this left turn here. Get into the corner. Once again, just aim up, fire into them. Just enough shots. You can play that slower and safer if you want, if you're worried about taking the damage. But really, just aim up and time it. Just don't wait too long, obviously, or they will lunge and grab you. Alright, we're gonna run over to this tiger statue and grab the blue gem. Behind it is a socket that we can attach to the valve handle, which is going to take the former square, now octagon valve back to being a square valve. If that isn't the most Resident Evil item ever, I don't know what is. And we're going to head up yet another elevator. I see the gigantic ant colony that has been here in the works. You can see the shining wing right by Chris's feet. We're gonna pick that up right away. These ants do damage you. It's very, 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 very limited damage, but you know, obviously just don't stand there and let them hit you or anything, but they're not really a threat either. Go ahead and combine the valve handle in. Head through the door here. And if you didn't see the cutscenes, Alfred freed in his dying efforts the real Alexia in this very room. So that's why the tension moment room, the heartbeat room. Go up the steps here. We're going to go to the panel on the right here, and it's going to ask for a code. Now, the answer to this is on the paperweight. We want the opposite sides here. So the answer is AA, crown, heart, spade. And then the slot will open. And then we simply use the paperweight now. And that's going to spawn in this capsule, which Alexia placed Alfred's body inside of. And you'll see that ring on his right hand. That is what we're going to go grab. Not to pawn it, but it will open another pathway soon enough. Got yet another green herb there that I can now grab. Those annoying little hits. Yeah, I don't have the exact figures, but it feels like they hit you for maybe like 0.5% of your health. It's kind of the principle of it more that annoys you than anything. And we're gonna head left. There are shotgun shells there if you need them. Those are some of the ones I mentioned before. They're right by, you'll see the handgun ammo too. They are sitting there though if you need them. Some herbs in the hallway here as well. Again, if you need them. Now we're gonna head back into the power room, and this is gonna seem weird. It may even feel counterproductive, but we're going to turn the power back off. This is one of the spots of the run of Code Veronica that I think trips a lot of people up. But yeah, you need to turn the electricity back off. And yeah, that'll make sense a little bit later, but it is a required part of the run. We're gonna head forward and back up the elevator this way. Which thankfully these elevators are not tied to the said turned off power. So if you by chance want the Magnum, see that blue light there? Hit that. And if you took the fire extinguisher, like I mentioned, you can refill it. And if you refill it, you can come down this elevator. And there's a fire there. You put that out and you can go get the Magnum. Now that spot I pointed to though, if Claire was poisoned in the Nosferatu fight and you need to heal her you'll need to heal her with a blood pack. That's where it is, right where I pointed there. Unfortunately, I can't show you the actual thing since I didn't get poisoned myself, but that is where it's at. And just basically when we rescue her with Chris here in a moment, he'll just be like, oh no, I've got to find her. And you just run back here. And it's not a very long run, don't worry. It's we're very close to where she would be. The big thing is just knowing where to go to get it, but yeah, that is exactly where it would be. Yeah, you can also get the Magnum in that room as well, though, so kind of a double whammy room, but ideally you don't need either. Once again, the Seeker wants to jump through. Let's go ahead and hit him with some grenade shots. So I'm about to do something that I would not recommend doing. And that's, I'm going to kill the giant spider here. You can easily run from this boss. It's what I always do. And to be honest, I thought it died easier than it does. Which is partly why I decided to fight it. Yeah, we're going to use the crane key that we got in the last room. Which is going to raise Nosferatu's body. And then the spider comes in. I shoot it with a flame round, which does good damage to it. And what I should be doing is, what I should be doing is not missing. The miss is what screws me up. That would have probably done all I needed. But I figure it's probably close to dead, so I start firing my shotgun. Notice it's shooting poison. Now it's missing, I'm okay. Now it hits me there, and now I'm poisoned. Which is just me making a mistake. I heal the poison, I equip the grenade launcher, I shoot it once and now it's dead. But really, all we need to do in this room is run over to this the green sparkling light to grab Alexander's trinket and climb back up here and leave. The spider can be alive. You don't have to knock it out. That's the other mini boss I mentioned before that is optional. So really, I do do not follow in my footsteps there. It's a waste of ammo, and yeah, unless your movement is just you're really struggling with it throughout this playthrough, and you're worried that you're gonna have trouble getting back up there, but I definitely just recommend avoiding it. We're gonna run forward here and grab a couple more things out of the item box. Most notably is the knife. All right, so a couple of things. Now, if you don't need to get the blood pack for Claire, we're going to be jumping into a sequence of events here that are very dangerous for both characters. Very, very dangerous. So take your time here. But make sure, for starters, Chris has his grenade launcher equipped with the grenade rounds. That's very important, both parts. And also, we're coming over here. It's hard to see them, but there are dragonfly wings in the right before you drop down there, and then another one on the edge here. Yeah, so that's where wing object number 2 and 3 are, right there. But make sure Chris has his grenade launcher with grenades equipped. That's the first thing. And even if you had to go back and get the blood pack, you'll find out here in a moment if you do. But because we're gonna run here, and behind the staircase is Claire. Once the camera switches over and you're in front of her, go ahead and you go to your knife, and you're gonna hit use, and this is gonna free Claire. Now we're gonna skip the cutscenes, and this is where you may have to heal her. Now, if you may be on a side path right now, but after doing so, you're going to end up in this same exact situation. So everything forward is exactly the same. So we're going to definitely grab the green and the red herb here. And we need 2 full heals here, just for safety. And ideally 1 small heal. But ideally 2 full heals for sure. 1 is almost required, which is, I think, why the game gives you that 1 right there. But equip your handgun, and we're going to head forward. Now, run forward and do not stop. Just keep running forward. The tentacle's going to bust through, and you're fine, as long as you get through there. Walk. The second one's going to bump through. You might get hit, but let's go ahead and shoot it. Now, there are grenade rounds to Claire's left. Do not pick them up, because we're going to come through here with Chris, and we want him to have them. We don't want to go back to the item box with Claire. Yeah, so go ahead and do that. And this is a very dangerous couple of segments here now, though. This next part is going to test your movement as much as anything. First, we're going to get rid of this zombie here. He's not the test. I wish this was all it was. I make sure to get rid of him so he doesn't try to cause any trouble coming up here. So this is a spot where you can actually be crushed, and it will insta-kill. It's very, very frustrating. So you see the block up there. And we need to get to that light, the white spot there in the black square. I'm showing you kind of like some movement maybe you can practice, but it won't crush you yet. Not until we get the item we need. But, so when we turn this thing, it's going to come down. We're going to turn the handle. And we need to, once we get this item, we need to break this item open. So we need to set this item in that white circle. So be very careful. I definitely recommend watching this a couple times. Make sure you see the placement. We're going to walk be very careful here. We're going to run forward about 2-3 steps. Use the item. Now, the cutscene will automatically back her out of the way. However, it will not save you here. So you have to run forward and make sure you pick it up. Don't overrun it. And the moment you get it, you're safe. It'll automatically click and you'll be fine. I mean, so it's really not that difficult, but it's one of those things that if you overthink, you overmove, you panic a little bit, you could get crushed and have it ruin your time. So just be careful, watch it a couple times and be sure. Now, we need the heals because of Steve. Yes, our old buddy Steve turns into the not so incredible Hulk here, and I don't know what I was doing there. I'm making sure I had the heals, I think. So immediately quick turn, run. He's going to hit us, and it's going to be into orange health. Use a heal. Run forward. He's going to hit us again. Go ahead and immediately heal. All right, and then run forward a little bit more, and we should be good. I recommend having an extra heal there just in case you get hit by the tentacle and it knocks you into caution. But real quick here, we're going to be playing as Chris. With your grenade launcher, get ready to fire right away. Right away. After this cutscene, fire. This Alexia's here, and she can insta-kill you. You need to fire 3 grenades right into her, and she will go down. That's a very dangerous fight. She trolled me by shooting acid right away. She usually doesn't do that. But, that's, again, it's like the spot where Claire can get crushed. It's really not very difficult if you are ready for it and good to go. I was trying to explain a whole bunch of things there all at once. 3 very dangerous little segments all in a row. But yeah, that's it. I mean, now there's more to the game. Obviously, we're not finished yet. We got a few more things. But as far as the stuff that's really insta-kill type scary, there's only one other thing we could possibly really screw up, and I'll point that out. Obviously, it's very easy if you know it's coming. But yeah, for the most part, you're in good shape. If you got past those, take a breath and keep going. Yeah, hopefully I let you know ahead of time enough in the video if you're, hopefully you're not running along with me step for step. So you were ready for all of that, but yeah, good job. Let's and we about to move on. We got some more zombies ahead here for Chris. We're gonna head down the hallway to the left and enter this first door on the left. Just run straight forward once we're in here. And there will be a key inside of a drawer. Key card. Or it's just a key, excuse me. And then we can leave. We're going to head out the way we came in. Now, an important note is, this is the final chance to use the item box. I mean, technically you could go backwards again beforehand, but in reality, if you want to do this as quickly and efficiently as possible going forward with the rest of the way, especially if you don't have a ton of time to work with, this is probably going to be your final trip. This will be my final time using it on the run, and I'll be sure to show you what all we're going through and going to have for the final stretch of the game. We use the sterile room key. It brings us here. With the power off, note the power is off. That's very important. We can grab the red and blue gems from the tiger statue. And we can head right back. We're going to actually head back now, though, and use the item box before we do anything else. And having those 2 item spots taken up is fine because we need to fill them with key items anyway. Back into the power room and the item box here in the corner. All right, so we're going, the main weapon is going to be the bow gun. If you still have some shots for it. I'm gonna reload my shotgun so I can put those shells away. Really, we only need about 2 more shots with the shotgun, but it is needed. I'm also gonna grab some of any full heals I have. I'd recommend it. Also grab 1 poison heal if you have it. If you don't, it's okay. The odds of getting poisoned are very slim in the upcoming fight. It doesn't happen very often, but it can. But I believe, yeah, I'm kind of organizing my stuff here. Yeah, I'm gonna grab 2 full heals and then the poison heal. And then yeah, that's it. So yeah, grenade launcher with grenade rounds loaded, shotgun, and the bow gun with explosive bolts. Now, if you have flame rounds left over, you don't have bow gun rounds, but you maybe have flame rounds, use those. And if you're just low on everything, take whatever you got. Unfortunately, I hate to say it if you're horribly low on stuff, but hopefully you should still have plenty to work with. And if you did grab the extinguisher, you could go grab the magnum if you want, although it wouldn't be as great for this final fight, but it would do the job. But anyway, before all that, we have to deal with some zombies. I do the speedrun run through here, which I really didn't mean to do, so I'm actually going to equip my shotgun, well, I already have it equipped. I'm going to get rid of those guys. I'll kill those other ones on the way back. Just go ahead and shoot them through the door there. Don't, I mentioned you only have a couple shots left. I was wrong there. I forgot about those guys. I apologize. But we're going to come in here, though. We're going to use the blue gem. I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to go through the double-sided statue here. Or, well, hidden door. I don't know why I said double-sided statue, but yeah, the hidden door there. I'm going to go ahead and use the red jewel here. Take out the music plate, just like we did earlier in the game. Now head back through. We're going to use the music plate again to lower yet another ladder. All right, head through here and around the table here. There's a dragonfly body sitting there and waiting. Not quite ready to be assembled yet. We need 1 more wing, though. 1 more wing object. After grabbing that, you can leave. There were some more green herbs. You may have seen them on the ground. If you need them, take them. Again, now I'm getting rid of these zombies. Yeah, I had too many in there. Don't worry, we're going through that door on the left. These double doors here. There will be a couple more heals in here and shotgun shells if you need them. So first, we're going to head down this elevator, though. And run over to the panel. You'll see the light right there. Which will open this capsule, which randomly has the final wing object inside of it. And then over on the top of this console, it's a little hard to get the trigger for it, but there are shotgun shells. And now there's more green herbs here as well on the ground. I'm gonna go ahead and assemble the dragonfly and reload my shotgun ammo. I'm gonna use a healed, that'll get me up to max health. And I'm gonna grab this final green herb just in case, because there's only 2 more item pickups. One will put away really quick. And it's those grenade rounds I mentioned before. We're gonna run up here. We're gonna push this forward. Again, hopefully you didn't do this with Claire. Put those very valuable grenade rounds in there. Have that shotgun ready. I'm gonna go through the door here. You need 1 inventory slot open here. We're gonna skip Claire's ugly crying. And this is it. This is the home stretch. All right, go ahead and use the dragonfly object on the door lock here, but also you can first examine the file, open it up to get the key card. Again, make sure you have your shotgun out. This is important to do so. You can do what we need with the grenade launcher and everything, but it's a lot easier with the shotgun. It's like guaranteed with the shotgun. Right, get rid of this guy. Climb up here. There's 1 final green herb on the far left there. If you need it. If you have the room, go ahead and take it. And now we just have to enter the final code, which could only be one thing, right? It's the name of the game.
This facility will detonate in 5 minutes. All doors are now unlocked.
So make sure you have your shotgun equipped before going through the door there. Sorry, I should have said that a second sooner. Have the shotgun equipped and get ready to fire it. Don't have your aim on quite yet, but right out of the cutscene here, you need to shoot Alexia before she not hits Claire. So just fire, get ready, fire. And now this is going to trigger the final fight sequence. This final fight is awful. I'm just going to say that now, but we should have the firepower to deal with it. So right out of the gate, switch to your bowgun if you have any shots with it. Fire all of them straight ahead right into her. That does a ton of damage. Fire damage is great against her. Now equip the grenade launcher and get to the side here if you can. Aim up and fire your grenade rounds right into her. Those little things are the most annoying things maybe ever, but they shouldn't hold you back too much. This all depends on how much bowgun ammo you have, how quickly this goes. Now we're gonna run over, grab the now opened linear launcher, run into the corner here, equip the linear launcher, and then aim. And I would just say fire, pretty much like aim up and then fire. Now I got extremely lucky in the recording this when I got a 1-shot. That's pretty rare. So what you're going to want to do is, if you miss like twice, fire twice, she's going to attack, just move. And it's easy to dodge the attacks, and then just aim again and you'll eventually hit her. Heal if you have to, if you get into caution or whatever. And yeah, just play it safe, play it smart, but you'll eventually hit her. And from here on, it's just skipping cutscenes. Not much else to say really on the final fight there. Like I said with Alexia, just the final shot, just get lucky. Lucky is the best thing, really. Now this final cutscene that triggers, you cannot skip. From here on out, you have to sit through this and the credits, and unfortunately it does get tacked onto your time, which is very annoying. But hopefully this guide will help you to where that won't matter. You'll have plenty of time to spare. Yeah, that, like I said, the final fight, just get into position, aim up and hit that launcher shot.
You know that I always keep my promise.
So just be safe. After a couple shot attempts, run and reset yourself. Yeah. But yeah, from here on we just skip cutscenes and we watch through the ending here. That's about that's the game though. Now, I hope this guide was really helpful. I'm always worried that I'm gonna forget something or, you know, give you guys bad advice or something like that. So hopefully this is helpful and helps you get your achievements and everything like that, if that's what you're going for. If you just want to get the A rank or the S rank, whichever version you're playing, just to say you did before the remake comes out, you can do a rocket launcher run and as your victory lap now. Yeah, whatever you're aiming to do, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope the commentary was okay. I hope the little more pacing overall was better than some of the other stuff I've done, or, you know, if you like it or not, just let me know. And if you want to see more videos like this, feel free to suggest some. Obviously I speedrun a lot of horror games, but I've done other genres as well. But you know, like any other RE things along this line that you'd like to see, feel free to comment and let me know. And yeah, if you wouldn't mind leaving the video a like, help us be seen by more individuals, that'd be great. And yeah, if you want to see more stuff like this, consider subscribing. I try to upload videos fairly frequently, depends on how much speedrun content I'm doing at the moment for uploads, like PBs or whatever. But I also do live stream here on YouTube twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you want to hang out there, be sure to check us out as well. I also stream on Twitch every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as well. And all the links for that will be down below, so be sure to check that out as well. But yeah, other than that, that's all I got for you guys. I want to say a big thanks again for you watching. You made it through to the end. Thank you so much. And yeah, like I said, above all, I hope this helped you. I hope the remake's great. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll let the credits roll out here, and we'll hopefully see that nice A rank on your final times. So thank you for watching, and I will see you all again in the next video. Enjoy the rest of the credits. All right, as a final quick send off, there is the A ranking. 3 hours, 5 minutes, 17 seconds. Notice the number saves is at 0, even though we did make the disk swap save. So there you go. Thanks again for watching, you guys.